The Taken King may actually rise again. Ghosts of the Deep gives us some scary information. Oryx's body is found and it's still growing, but his worm is missing. Today we discuss the importance of this worm and how the Taken King could make a return in future Destiny 2 content. During the Taken King's campaign, we would battle Oryx aboard the Dreadnought, forcing him to retreat to his throne world at the top of the ship. Once these Ascendant Hive die in their throne worlds, they're gone. This is the only way to kill them permanently. The King's Fall raid was just that, our invasion through the ship to get up to Oryx's throne world and slay him for good, his body floating towards Saturn in the distance. Nothing was heard about for years regarding Oryx until Ghosts of the Deep, Destiny 2's newest dungeon. Here we learn Oryx's body was super deep in the methane oceans of Titan. It isn't specified how exactly the body got here, but the Lucent Hive were trying to bring Oryx back, the Guardian sent in to stop the ritual. Oryx's body was either brought here, or somehow drifted to Titan caught in its gravity. The Royal Chase lore card from Beyond Light gives us some details about something floating near Saturn. Some believe with recent developments that this could have been Oryx. Let's take a look. You still tracking that monster near Saturn? Yes, no one is holding position directly over Titan. On mark, 27 hours, rotating off in 3. Long shift, you Praxic boys are cold. Regret your induction yet? It's not a problem, we don't sleep. Right. I mean, you do sleep. Negative. Come on, I've met Guardians before. We do not. Don't make me call in the gunny. Your gunny would know better than to argue with the Order. Okay, listen, Jeff. You're not the Order. I don't give a Quiet. Energy rev spooling from the target. What? You said it was basically dead. Basically, Verim. Record this. Establish direct feed uplink with NavTac. Uplink connectivity is spotty. Gravitational anomaly detect. No, it's collapse. After some dead air, breathing heavily, NavTac return. Link reads as established. Telemetric position pins us on the opposing side of Saturn. Displacement reads as roughly 470,000 kilometers. Titan is gone. This doesn't make any sense. So during that card we can see that member of the Praxic Order there and the scouts searching for something near Saturn. They call it a monster near Saturn, and they pick up an energy rev spooling from the target. The one responds, you said the thing was basically dead, but apparently it isn't. Titan gets taken as the pyramid ships arrive and engulf it, and that's the end of the card. So again, that was released in Beyond Light, but I don't think we found out what the monster is, and with the new dungeon, maybe this was Oryx's body. From new lore, Ikora's Hidden clearly know where the body is when Fenchurch and Chioma go down and search for it, so that's interesting. So we stop this ritual but learn the terrifying news. The body is still growing. His mind is gone, but the body growing and the worm missing. Worms are super important to the Hive. Without one, they'll die. Each Hive has a worm inside them, and they are bound to it symbiotically. The Hive are cursed by this form of darkness, following the sword logic where they need to continuously feed their worm to survive and evolve. Savathun realized this pain along the way and wanted to change it. Her whole purpose became finding a way to survive without the worm, or maybe feed it infinitely by acquiring power through places like the Distributary, that Dreaming City time loop back in the day. Savathun ultimately came up with a plan we witnessed in Witch Queen and the seasons prior, an awoken ritual to free her worm, die, and be resurrected by the light. So the point is, the worms are super important to the Hive species. If they want to live as Hive, they need the worm. If you remember back in Witch Queen, we even had a quest where Savathun's worm spoke to us, which was pretty cool, and then we put it inside the parasite weapon.
Fear swells. Deception Queen.
What did you say?
Nothing. You heard that too?
The parasite. It speaks once again.
So what's frightening in Ghosts of the Deep is that Oryx's worm is missing. Did someone take the worm? Did it escape? And can Oryx still make his return like Savathun possibly predicted?
Worm.
It requires strength and a new host to survive, to divulge its secrets.
Some may question if Oryx is dead or alive through his touch of malice, which we acquired in both games. There are varying beliefs surrounding the lore of this weapon. Some say there's a piece of Oryx inside of it. Others say just the ideals of the sword logic. Maybe not a sentient part of him, just part of his body. Regardless of whatever theories you believe about the touch of malice, we can clearly see some bigger implications in the new dungeon. Like Savathun, Oryx's worm is gone, so technically he could be chosen by the light, just not sure if he fits those checkboxes like his sister did. Plus, a big reason this ghost and wizard couldn't bring him back, beyond the whole ghost and traveler choosing the right lightbearer part, is that Oryx's body was still alive. Not confirmed, but maybe that's why it wasn't working. The Lucent Hive are also behind this, which also makes you wonder, did Savathun have a plan all along? Possibly. That or the Lucent Hive are suffering without a leader, Savathun now gone, looking for other ways to evolve and fight against the Witness and threats they may face like the Guardians. What we do know is that the Hidden now have 2 of the 3 Hive siblings in their possession, the body of Savathun and the Taken King, now stored somewhere in the city presumably. Savathun's ghost Amaru is still out there, so in order to bring her back we either need to trick Amaru or make some type of deal with him. And who knows what would happen if that were to come true. Would she even want Oryx back to battle the Witness alongside us, tell him the truth about the darkness and Witness? That could possibly work, but Oryx likely wouldn't agree. It also depends how all of this happens. If Oryx is brought back by some type of Hive ritual, if they found his worm and bring him back through darkness, he would be like he once was and probably wouldn't agree. If he somehow gets chosen by the light, he wouldn't remember anything, so it's interesting to think about both sides of the coin.
Mercury, Io, and Titan are in my care. The Witness returned Mars to your solar system. The power to move worlds will soon be yours. The Taken King will rise again.
So here's where we are with Savathun's updated words. For the Witness returning Mars to the solar system, in a lore tab, Eris says that Savathun returned Mars. It is strange, when Savathun drew Mars back into our space, it was free of the egregore, but the Glycon and Leviathan both returned rampant with fungal growth. Why? Mercury, Io, and Titan are in my care. Savathun may have returned Mars, but nothing tells us that she held the rest of them in her control. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. The power to move worlds will soon be yours. We did kill the Explicator of Worlds in the Root of Nightmares raid, but did that actually do anything? At the time we made videos discussing that, hey, we might actually be moving worlds and returning to locations like Titan, which we did, but did we actually do anything, and how did Titan return? We're unsure. And lastly, the Taken King will rise again. No confirmed answer at this point, but it's leading towards a maybe. We did kill Oryx, but the Lucent Hive still believe there's ways to bring him back. The worm is missing and needs a new host to survive. Will we go on a quest to find the worm, bring Oryx back through Hive rituals? I guess we'll have to wait and see. The door is wide open and I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. Where do you think Oryx's worm is? Is this setting up a possible return, or is this sealing his fate and death given the symbiotic worm he needs to survive is out of the picture? Anyway, Guardians, if you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you all in the next video.